Hello guys, welcome to another video. If you've been following this channel since the beginning, you know that we had this rotten trunk cover when we bought the car. And this is our new trunk, which I was lucky enough to find out on a scrapyard. So you want to see how we came from this rotten trunk to this new trunk? Stay tuned. Okay, when we bought the car, April 8, 2022, when I arrived here in my garage, I just started to dismount the carpets. We had all this dirt and water inside the trunk. And also in this apron, front apron below the windshield, which was completely rotten, as you see in the first video I made from this car. And also the broken windshield. So here you can see the rotten apron. And here you can see how people, treat the cars they own. This is disgusting how someone let the car went so far into this state. I know that I have high standards, but it's crazy. So what I did, even before I bought the car, was to search on the internet, and on April 7, 2022, I was lucky enough to find an exact same model on the same color on a scrapyard in the north of Portugal. So I made around 700 kilometers to go there and find my parts. I phoned the guys before I went, and these are the parts that I found: a new trunk, a new apron. I also brought the windshield. It was kind of lucky to find out such car. The first thing to do on the next day, April 9, after I bought this car, was to clean all the parts that I brought from the scrapyard. To do this, I just used regular car shampoo and some water and a brush. My main goal here is to see if this trunk is okay to fit in the car, if it needs to be painted. It's the same color code, the super white from NISSAN, but depends on the maintenance the car had, the bodywork maintenance. It might be not the exact same color. So here you can see my son also helping. This was an important part of this project, putting my 7-year-old helping me in the car. I had the help of my son, as you can see, cleaning all the badges. And as you can see, the trunk looks pretty good. If I remember correctly, I think I gave 30 euros for this complete trunk. Pretty much good business, good deal. And yeah, so what we did first was to clean the trunk properly, and then putting the trunk to dry to see and inspect what needs to be done. Of course, we need to swap the key in order we can still use the same key from the doors and from the ignition. And then what we did was to, also inspect the new apron, the new old stock apron that I brought from Braga, from the scrapyard. And you can see here both side to side. And of course, this rotten one is still repairable. If you find an old guy, the old school guys that work in body works, they can do this. And also I dismount my tail lights. And as you can see, the left one was putting water also. We have this butylic glue, which is a kind of a pain to remove. But with patience and, dedication, you can achieve anything. Even so, I washed these taillights to see if they were recoverable or if I need new ones. Even before I bought the car, I was still looking for parts, and I ended up buying some taillights in better condition than mine. But yeah, the next step was to remove all this butylic glue, which is a pain. I will have a dedicated video explaining how you can remove this. It's not easy, but it's doable. Here you can see I just use regular car shampoo on a bucket, put the taillights inside, and just fill them with water, let them for 1 or 2 hours in order all the dirt and sand, grime to soften with the water. And then give them a good rinse. We ended up with a pretty acceptable taillights, but not for this project. I will keep these for recoverable, and here you can see after the first attempt to remove the butylic glue, we ended up with better looking taillight. So coming back to the trunk, it was time to dismount all the parts that we need to swap, especially the key lock. The old trunk was kind of really rotten, as you see. It's pretty easy to remove all these parts. We just have this plastic trim. Here you have a rubber between the lock and the trunk, and of course years and years of dirt that we need also to clean. Then we have this small electric cable. We have the license plate lights, and of course we need to swap like this one. But what I ended up doing was to dismount the complete trunk, just 4 bolts. It's easy to dismount. 4 bolts. Here we have the seat belts, the rear seat belts, which need to be also dismounted if you need to remove the carpets. And yeah, the first step was to remove the trunk and swap all the parts that we need. Just these 2 bolts on each side, and also we try to recover I don't know how you guys call this in English, these rubber parts where the trunk hits the other part. Here we have already dismounted the key lock. Simple process. I dismounted also these plastic parts for the cable without breaking them. Really important to keep the parts in good state. Here you can see that the cars were painted back then in Sutherland with the trunks already fitted, because these parts were hidden and were not painted. So here you can see that they paint the car with the trunk fitted. And here we have the electric installation that we need to remove and keep it inside the car, in order when we install the new trunk, the new old trunk, we can fit everything back properly. And of course, again, the 2 bolts on each side. So what I did was unfit the trunk. I was inspecting if this is something I can do alone. No, I know I had some help here. I just unbolted the screws on both sides, and then just kept everything in a safe manner, because we have the glass, the real glass, just there, and if anything goes wrong, we can break the glass. So pretty easy, as you can see. Now I was expecting what to do on these inches. Here you can see the old trunk, rotten, the spoiler. Anyway, I have this spoiler to sell. The spoiler is a NISSAN original spoiler. So if any of you guys want to buy this spoiler, just drop a comment below and I will gladly sell this spoiler. We can arrange an agreement at a good price. So the next thing to do is to remove this lock system and replace for the other one, in order I can keep the same key for all doors. I broke one of these rubber parts. They are kind of rotten. Here you have again my son on the second stage of cleaning the trunk. Oops, some water into the clothes, but no problem. Then what we did was, to clean the trunk inside properly before starting anything. So I hope you guys like this video, so stay tuned for the next episodes. I will now start to upload content on a regular basis. It's 2 years now since I bought the car. The project's been stopped for a while now, but we have lots of content, so I will keep uploading content on a regular basis. So stay tuned for the channel. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to follow more videos on this restoration project, just subscribe to the channel. That keep hearing this from other channels. It helps a lot, the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, and then it helps to support the channel. And we will see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.